In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we're finishing up our episodes on the science of depression. A lot of information. We are getting through it. We're going to need one more episode.
Okay.
But hang in there because I got a special treat because we're recording 2 tonight. Of course, it's a Monday night, so we typically record 2 episodes. So for our second episode, we're going to do a holiday special.
Okay.
It's kind of off the cuff, but we're going to have fun with it. And
it is what it is.
So hang in there. So if you guys are on Facebook Live right now, stick around for the whole hour. We're doing 2 shows. Yeah, hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown.
Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please. Anything but that. No.
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit. Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? This is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist, and we are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
You know, you are.
You are. That is Matt Fotz, the other voice you hear.
Yes, I'm happy
We're hanging out. We're here in the palatial Podcast Your Voice Southfield Studios.
It gets more and more palatial.
It does.
Honestly.
Especially when you have a man cave right before my show.
Yeah, and those get more palatial as time goes on.
It's just nice. It's a nice place.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, here we are doing a podcast, hanging out, week of the holidays. Christmas Eve is tomorrow. Christmas Day is the day after.
Yeah, because you listen to podcasts anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. So you'll get this. It's right before Christmas.
Yes, yes, it is.
So we're here. Let me tell you, folks, where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Check it out. I just added a new section on there, and we talked about this a few episodes back. Ketamine-assisted hypnotherapy.
Yes.
We're doing it in both, how should I say, normal therapy and also with hypnosis, because it's a and go back and listen to those episodes. They're like 3 or 4 episodes ago, and we did 2 episodes on ketamine specifically. So if you have questions about that, go back and listen to those. You get all the information you need. If you want more information, go to my website, motorcityhypnotist.com. Check out the ketamine-assisted psychotherapy page or ketamine assisted hypnosis. It'll take you and give you all the information. You can contact us, fill out a form, and get locked in.
There you go.
Yes. My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotist, and on Snapchat and Instagram, which are both Motor City Hypno, HYPNO. And for your free hypnosis guide, which we've given away every episode, going back to episode number 1, text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510.
That number again?
313-800-8510.
Beautiful.
Important thing, wherever you're listening, whatever platform, Spotify, iTunes, wherever, please like, subscribe, connect, whatever you have to do on your platform. And the biggest thing is leave a review. I know I keep asking for this, and reviews help us because typically, honestly, and I'm going to talk from personal experience. Most of the time, if I leave a review, it's a bad review,
right?
Because of a bad experience. And I know it's just not human nature to be like, oh, that was super great, I loved it. But if you could leave a review, that would be fantastic. It would help us out. It gets more listeners and gets the show out there.
Got it.
Awesome. Cool.
Right.
It is time, Matt.
Already?
It is yes. We're getting right to it.
All right.
That's how winning is done.
Suck it to me.
All righty. So that's a good story.
All right.
70-year-old Paul Myers was in the fast food restaurant a year ago when his heart stopped. Luckily for him, Brian Harris walked inside at just that moment and leaped into action. Performing CPR and eventually using a defibrillator, he restarted Myers' heart before an ambulance took him to the hospital.
Wow.
Determined to shake hands that kept the blood pumping to his brain, Myers took to social media in an effort to meet Harris. York Press now reports they've met up around 3 times since then and have become lifelong friends.
How long ago was this?
Hopefully we'll get that.
All right.
Recalling the moment when he began performing CPR, Harris said, "I fought hard. I wasn't going to give up. I was determined. I was going to fight for his life." Myers added that he is eternally grateful that Brian saved his life, but says that it's been really difficult to think of a way to thank him.
You saved our lives. We are eternally grateful.
When we met up for the first time, he got there before me and said, "Mr. Myers, it is so good to see you alive." The only words I could give him were thank you. Myers has no memory of the incident.
Wow, yeah.
And says he was on his way to church meeting in the morning when he realized he was struggling to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that if he didn't sit down, he would fall. So he decided to go into a McDonald's to take a rest.
Okay, all right.
Harris was on a break from his job at the local railway station and was nearing the restaurant. Then a woman came around the corner saying, "I think there's a man having a stroke," he remembered. Harris said Myers' pulse was barely discernible and he was clearly struggling to breathe. Rather than losing it all, Myers came out on the other side with a new friend and hopefully for them both a more intense exercise regime.
Okay, thank you for that. Because when you said that he was in a fast food restaurant and had a heart attack, I'm like, well, duh.
Well, especially McDonald's.
Right.
I mean, if we're talking,
God, McDonald's has
that's
gotten
the most common one.
McDonald's gotten a lot of press lately, but just saying. And then secondly, when somebody is having a heart attack, it is kind of reminiscent of somebody having a stroke.
Sure.
If you don't know the difference between the two, right?
Right.
So for the lady to walk around the corner like, "I think he's having a stroke." No, this guy knew.
He identified it was a heart attack.
It was a heart attack.
Yeah.
So good on him. So thank you for
do you want
saving.
to? Do you want to see the photos of Paul Myers and Brian Harris?
Sure. See, there they are.
They're there.
All right, they're there. I like that.
Both looking good.
Yeah.
I don't know which one is which. That's the problem.
Well, the guy, okay, he's got a Christmas sweater on, and it's got
Tasmanian Devil on it. Nice.
So I would assume that might be Paul.
Maybe.
No, I'm so happy. You know, God works in mysterious ways, Dave.
Sure.
And
I mean, sometimes people get put in positions,
and they put Brian and God put Brian there in the position to help. Mike. I want to say Mike.
Paul.
I want to say Mike, but
Paul Myers.
Paul
so maybe
Myers,
that's
why. But yeah, so thank you for sharing that. I love when things happen for a reason.
Well,
and these guys now
and again, it's just strangers meeting in this just unforeseen circumstance, and it's just like, wow, that just
that's we've talked about this fight or flight.
Yes.
Right? What do you do?
Well, and it's hard to say because we've talked about this too. Would you? The question always comes up. Well, would you do the same thing? And it's like, I don't know. I guess until you experience the circumstance, how would you know?
Sure.
Maybe I would run. I don't know.
I'd be the first one to be calling 911 and say, you need to get here now.
Well, that's true.
And then, try to understand the circumstance and the situation, but I am not I am not licensed. I'm not a paramedic. If I try to give someone CPR or try to revive them, I honestly, I get sued. Because
you might, unless you're certified.
Unless you're certified. And that's why people don't act like you think they should.
But that's kind of the shame that people just stop acting for fear of being in trouble rather than doing their best to try to save someone.
I want to do my best. I want to direct. I'll be there to direct traffic. Okay, who here is certified? Because that's the life that we live in now.
Any doctors on the plane?
Right. But if I could save someone's life and I give them CPR and save their lives and without the fear of repercussions, that's the world I want to live in, Dave.
Absolutely. I agree.
So
anyway, it's a good story. A couple old guys enjoying their lives now that they're both alive. Well, one is alive, the other one saved them, and good
Love
story.
It. Thank you.
Fantastic.
That's how winning is done.
So back
Yes,
to
it is. Oh, you beat me to it, Matt.
I did.
So, back to it.
All righty. So we're here. We're talking about the science of depression. This is episode 3 of the series
Yes.
because there's a lot of information, but we are going to finish up on this episode.
Okay. Fantastic.
So when we ended last time, we were talking about the different neurotransmitters that are in your brain. And there are several, dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, and the neurotransmitters transmit the electrical impulses that connect between your brain synapses.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
To go back to the spark plug analogy.
Yeah, spark plug analogy. The spark needs something conductant to get from one side to the other.
Got it.
The neurotransmitter is that conductor.
Conduit. Yeah.
Good call. So we talked about dopamine a little bit last time. So norepinephrine, and I don't remember if we hit on this. I think this is where we stopped. I'm pretty sure.
We talked a little bit about it, but you could start here.
Okay. So norepinephrine is a little bit different because it's a neurotransmitter, but it is also a hormone.
Mm-hmm.
So it plays a major role in the fight or flight response.
Oh, right.
Okay. Along with adrenaline. I think we mentioned that. I think we got to that point. So in the 1960s, a scientist named Joseph, I'm going to mess up this name, Schildkraut.
You know what? We did talk about norepinephrine because I remember Schildkraut.
You do remember Schildkraut.
Yes,
Okay.
of course I do.
He suggested that norepinephrine was the brain chemical of interest for depression when he presented the catecholamine hypothesis of mood disorders.
Would you call me?
So what he proposed is that depression occurs when there is too little norepinephrine in the brain circuits. Alternatively, mania results when there's too much of this specific neurotransmitter, norepinephrine. Now, there is evidence that supports this hypothesis, but as anything with research goes, it always gets challenged. People look at things in a different way, say, well, maybe that's right. This might not be right. So there's some opposing views on this.
Well, with any research, someone's
Sure.
going to say, well, that's not right because
Yes.
I did this.
But again, here's the issue. With medications specifically targeting norepinephrine, just like any other antidepressant medication, it's probably going to help some people. It may not help everyone.
Right. Everyone's brain,
just
because it's
different
their brain
physiology.
chemistry.
Yes, absolutely. The next that we're talking about is serotonin. Now, we've probably all heard this term, serotonin.
We did talk about serotonin because I asked the question about, isn't that go towards like vitamin D deficiency?
Yes, because serotonin is the feel-good chemical.
Yes.
And then we talked about the other feel-good endorphins that
Yes.
get released in your brain. So we did look at that. So researchers have looked into serotonin's role in mood disorders for almost 30 years. Arthur Prang and Alec Coppin's permissive hypothesis suggests that low serotonin levels cause norepinephrine levels to fall as well. So it's kind of like a cause and effect.
So you're saying it's all connected?
So they could say it's, and they hypothesize that increasing serotonin could also help raise norepinephrine.
So it is all connected.
Yeah, it is all connected. It is all connected. So we're talking about there's a newer antidepressants that have come out. I'm guessing on the years. I don't have exact dates within the last 30 years or so.
So as a professional that uses medication as the last resort,
Yes,
you know, this is the spot, the time where you go, okay, now we need to try medication. So now we need to understand X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
So go on.
So newer antidepressants are called serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. Now that's a mouthful.
It is.
It's SNRIs.
SNRIs.
That's the initials that it goes by.
We talked about SNRIs.
So a medication like Effexor is an SNRI. Okay. So SSRIs, which are a little bit different, and I don't want to get into that big explanation of that. They don't so wait, let me back up a little bit. So these tricyclic antidepressants, these SNRIs, they affect norepinephrine and serotonin, but they also have the added effect of influencing histamine and acetylcholine. And these substances produce side effects such as dry mouth, blurry vision, constipation, and urinary hesitancy.
Sign me up.
So
Yeah.
So with these new SNRIs, these side effects become less severe, which is a good thing. Again, back to SSRIs, they don't affect histamine, and they don't have the same side effects, and they're safer from a cardiovascular standpoint. So in general, doctors prefer to prescribe SSRIs to start with.
Are you going to drink that?
This? No.
I'll drink it.
You can drink that. Because I poured another
did.
extra. You like that one?
I do.
Yeah. I did like that one too. I like Jamie's better. Sorry.
You're not the first one.
That was August.
That was August.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm still drinking on Jamie's, but August was pretty good. Mine was shit. So sorry to digress.
No, it's okay. It was fine.
Right.
So here's what happens. Low levels of neurotransmitters can result when there's a breakdown in whatever process in the brain. So the research has come up with several causes of chemical imbalances. I'm just going to list these because cause and effect is a little bit difficult because we don't know why it's caused sometimes.
Right.
The number one thing is molecules that help make neurotransmitters, specifically enzymes, are in short supply. So your brain may lack certain enzymes to produce these neurotransmitters.
And so that begs the question, Dave, if your brain is lacking in those enzymes, what is it that you can do to help replenish said enzymes?
Well, that comes with medication.
Right. And that's why some of this medication comes in to help reproduce.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. To adjust those levels of neurotransmitters. And each medication has a different target. Or some have the similar targets.
So as a layman, I'm trying to put the puzzle pieces together here. So
yes, and I know this can be very, very difficult or complicated, but in general, the way I'd like to put it is like sometimes neurotransmitters are off. Either they're not being produced or they're not being uptaken correctly, and that's where medication comes in to help balance that.
Okay, go on.
The next thing is there's not enough receptor sites to receive the neurotransmitter. So sometimes, especially as we age, our brain has a degeneration.
Well,
synapses don't work as well as they used to. Some synapses stop working. And that can also be a cause of depression over time, especially in older individuals.
Or Alzheimer's.
And that's why sometimes there are not enough receptor sites because they're not all functioning the way they should be.
Sure.
And you'll understand this based on our prior episode or 2 episodes ago. Presynaptic cells are taking the neurotransmitter back up before it has a chance to reach the cell.
As in to recharge, right?
So we talked about when neurotransmitters are used, if it's not used totally, it gets taken back up to be reused
again.
So this is one of these things where they're taking the transmitter up before it can get reused.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's like taking away what you need.
Yeah. So let's go back to the gasoline engine, for example. If the gas is in the chamber and they remove it all,
you
have nothing left to burn. Right.
Huh.
Yeah. The next reason is too few of the molecules that build neurotransmitters are present. Again, it's a chemical imbalance. And too little of a specific neurotransmitter is being produced. So your brain might be working fine with dopamine, but it might not be fine with serotonin. So certain transmitters can be lacking.
Sure.
And that can cause depression as well.
My goodness.
Yeah. So understanding the science or the chemistry of depression, and the reason I brought this episode up, because some people just don't understand why. And I get this a lot, especially with acquaintances.
Okay.
I mean, because most people know what I do. But a lot of people are like, depression. People aren't depressed. They just need to get off their ass and get moving or whatever excuse they have.
Yeah. So depression it has many faces, we'll say. All right. Just it could be about something that just happened and you're depressed about it. Does that mean
it could be situational depression, and that is different than chemical depression.
Yes. And that's where people lack the knowledge. Oh, they'll get over it. No, you don't understand what that person has gone through or genetically has been disposed to at the same time.
Well, and I say this, and I've used this example hundreds of times. I'm sure I've used it on the podcast. You have 2 people. They both have an experience exactly the same. They lose a parent.
Yeah.
One person grieves for a month and they get on with their life and they feel better. The other person stays in the grief stage for 10 years.
Yeah.
They can't get past it.
Right.
The only difference between those two people is how they think about it. And your thinking is affected by your brain chemistry.
Point taken.
There you go.
Go on.
Yes. So understanding the chemistry, it's what I want you to do is understand that there are treatments available, even based on the chemistry and the science of it. Psychotherapy is often, therapy is often helpful for people with depression to talk things out. A lot of times medication is added to enhance that therapy process. I will say, and you know this, Matt, because you know me well enough, medication is not an answer. It's a tool.
Yes.
So it's great if you're taking medication and it's working for you, but you still have to do work. You still have to you address the issues that you feel like you need to address.
You get out what you put into it.
Yes, absolutely. There's no magic bullet. There's no simple solution.
It's the individual.
You have to work at it.
Yes.
Yep. And really, here's the thing: to complicate treatment further, here's the problem: medication doesn't always work.
So real quick, let me. I said you get out what you put into it.
Yep.
You have to want to.
Yep.
Put the work into it.
Well, and there's the double-edged sword with depression, because most people who are depressed don't have motivation to do anything.
And that's the biggest stigma.
That's the catch-22 that yes, I need to work on things, but I just don't care. I don't feel like it. I'd rather just stay in bed.
So what pill do I take for that?
Well, that's the whole question.
Yeah.
So medication doesn't always work, and sometimes it's a trial and error method with medication. You may start an antidepressant. Typically, with most antidepressants, both classes or all three classes now, you need a few weeks to a month to have it build up in your system.
Right.
So you're not really going to know if something is working for 3 or 4 weeks at minimum. And then if that doesn't work, then we have to try something new and start the cycle over again.
So clearly I'm having a little reaction over here with that, because it takes 3-4 weeks for the medication to build up into your system, into your brain chemistry.
Yep.
What are you doing in those 3 to 4 weeks?
Well, no, that's the whole question. You should be going to therapy every week. At minimum.
Some people should be going every week, once a week. Some people need to go twice, 3 times a week because they don't have that motivation.
Well, they might be in crisis. They could be in a if people are more actively suicidal.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to touch base at least a couple times a week.
And it's up to the medical professional to diagnose or say, this is what I feel you're going to need over the next couple of weeks while your body, your brain chemistry gets used to this medication. That I think that's a point that is missing, is the diagnoses as to how often they should be seeing somebody as they are uptaking.
And that is really up to the therapist and the psychiatrist who's prescribing the medication. And in our clinic, if somebody is seeing our Dr. Singh for medication,
sure,
we require them to also do therapy.
Yes.
That's part of we offer you a service. You see Dr. Singh, he manages your medication to help you, but that means you also have to attend therapy. That's just our rule. And most places, I think, have something similar.
But back to my original, the person has to want to.
Right. Well, and here's the thing. Most people who call the office are ready to do something because they're tired of suffering.
Sure.
I mean,
I don't take that away. I don't
yeah.
take that away from anybody.
Right.
But once they learn what it's going to take, that's where the motivation might go. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's a battle. It really is, and there's no easy answer.
There isn't, and that's where I think the next level of understanding the brain chemistry really has to come into effect.
And here's the thing. Sometimes people who are severely depressed need to be pushed a little bit, and they might be resistant, but this is where family and significant others and kids or parents come in. Here's the thing. And I'm going off of, there's so many studies out there, but there have been a couple of studies done that find that currently available antidepressants that are on the market right now only work in about 60% of people they're subscribed to.
Okay.
Or prescribed to.
All right.
Sorry.
That's in my opinion, as a uneducated individual around in this industry that you're talking about, that's just too low.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. So That being said, if you're in the other 40%, what do you do then?
Yeah.
There's now here's where we get into medication alone. It will help, but it's not going to resolve anything
Because it's a tool.
or it may not help.
Because it's a tool.
Absolutely. It's just another thing that we have at our disposal to try to help. And we go the next part, Matt, you mentioned, you alluded to earlier. Research also suggests that neurotransmitter levels can be affected by factors other than medication. Stress, life events, low self-esteem, things like that.
Right.
So here's the thing. And the bottom line is, even if you're taking an antidepressant, it doesn't necessarily resolve the underlying issue that you're experiencing.
Okay.
That's why we need the medication to adjust your brain chemistry, but you also need therapy to improve stress management, heal from emotional wounds, regulate emotions, improve thinking patterns. This all goes into it.
Right.
And unless the medication allows you to focus on these things, it doesn't fix what's wrong.
Right. And that's the I hate to say that's where a lot of folks are confused, because they're like, oh, if I start taking this, it's going to get better. No, you need to put the work into it while taking said medication.
Correct. Here's the thing, and I don't want to bum people out, especially if you're already depressed, but there's no easy answer.
No, there's not.
There's no magic bullet. There's no single pill. Medication can help, psychotherapy can help, but you have to do something on your end, which means, and again, generally speaking, make sure you have a structure, make sure you're sleeping well, make sure you're not using drugs and alcohol. I mean, but these are things that seem like common sense, but many clients, you have to say, you're taking your antidepressant, but you're still drinking 10 drinks a day.
The general population, they're like, I'm going to continue on with what I do, and I'm going to take.
Well, see, and this is the question. How's that going for you? How's that working for you? What you're doing so far?
I'm on my third type of medication right now.
I'm just saying though, that's the response I have to clients. I'm like, well, how's this working for you? And when they say not good, I'm like, exactly. You have to make changes. And that's the whole thing, whether it's depression or anxiety or PTSD or bipolar disorder, whatever it is, you have to take action. You have to work at changing. And if you don't change, other things may help for a time being, but they're not going to resolve the issues.
No, you got to dig deep.
And here's the thing. That's why you have psychiatrists. That's why we have therapists. That's why we have, massage therapists. I'm going off just even taking care of self-care type things that will make you feel better. That's up to you. A therapist and a psychiatrist can do the things and tell you to do the things or help you to guide you to do the things. But if you don't do them, that's on you.
Hell, even a chiropractor will help you out.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there are all types of self-help things.
There is a lot of resources that are out there other than medication.
Absolutely.
Stretch therapy. I've learned a lot about stretch therapy over the past couple of months. A chiropractor will help to understand your how your body is framed and realign you, and all of a sudden you feel better because you're sitting up straighter. Or
let me throw this one out, Matt, too, because I just started maybe it was before summer. I don't remember, but either way, I got a massage package at Massage Envy.
Good for you.
So I go maybe once a week or once every other week, but I didn't I always knew I was like not flexible at all.
Sure.
Like not at all.
Sure.
Like you can give me $1 million to touch my toes. It will never happen. I'm just saying physically, I wouldn't be able to do it. I had this shoulder, my left shoulder. I tore my rotator cuff. I'm not kidding. 30 years ago, whitewater rafting.
Okay.
It's never been the same. And it was to the point where I just had limited range of motion. So when I started playing golf a couple years ago, I'm like, the shoulder's killing me.
Yeah.
After about 4 months of massage every week or every other week, this is totally loosened up.
See,
they worked it out.
Self-care works.
And again, to me, I was like, oh geez, am I going to need surgery? Am I going to have to? No, it's fine. I swear to God, a year ago, I could not lift my arm straight up in the air.
Yeah.
Without it catching or being this like knife pain in my shoulder.
Love it.
There we go. All righty, folks, here's the big thing. If you are depressed, if you are taking medication, again, the big thing is you have to work on yourself. You have to make that commitment see somebody that can help you along that journey. That's what therapists are for. We don't have answers. We don't have a simple solution, but we can guide you to where you need to be. As long as you're willing to do the work, we can get you to where you want to be.
So I appreciate that. If that individual, or if you are depending on someone who is a close friend for a long time and they just say, and they're very agreeable, that's not the person you should be talking to.
Well, no, you need somebody that's going to be truthful with you.
Yes.
And honest.
Yeah. If someone's like, well, okay, well, and they just bend over.
Well, there are a lot of enablers out there.
And that's where you need to remove yourself from that situation or that conversation. If you truly want to get better, you need to put yourself into a situation with a professional that is going to tell you.
Absolutely. All righty, folks. That is it for the science of depression.
It's a
Before
lot.
we take off today, it is a lot. And again, here's the thing. I see people every day. I've been doing it for 32 years. You can get to a better place. That's what I want to leave you with. It's possible because I work with people every day who have improved. So don't lose hope. Reach out, get some help.
God, I love it.
Speaking of reaching out, somebody needs help. Lucky needs help.
Lucky needs help?
Lucky.
What is it, Lucky?
Is a beagle.
Aw.
Born in 2019, so probably about 5-ish, 6-ish,
Yeah.
40 pounds.
It's a male. I would say medium.
Dog friendly, yes. Cat friendly, unknown. Kids over 5.
Okay, but medium energy level.
Look at that face.
What is it? What do you is Timmy?
What is it, boys? Timmy in the well?
Is Timmy in the well?
There you go.
Aw. My parents had a beagle when I was growing up. Her name was Jamie.
Oh boy.
But Lucky needs a home. My goodness, neutered male at that. All right. So, what a
bums
precious
me out
face.
is that he's like 5 years old and he's at the shelter, unless somebody had to give him up for whatever reason.
Yeah,
but
the owner may have died.
yeah, I know.
Who
You just don't know. You don't know why
Such-
animals end up there. But
Beagles are cute puppies.
have I told you my beagle story?
No, you want
There was a family across the street, 3 houses down. It was a
Okay.
family, parents. They had 3 boys. So in the neighborhood, we would play at their house. They'd come to our house, but they had a beagle. So I don't know, for some reason, one day, one of the beagle's owners, there was 3 boys, and we were over there, and they're like, "Oh, this is a game we do all the time." They pull his tail and try not to get bit. So
That's
of course,
not a good game.
it's my turn.
Okay.
Guess what happens?
You got bit.
I pull his tail. I got bit. Like blood coming down my
Oh,
hands. Like
shnikes.
he
You
tore
got-
me up.
Yeah.
So I go home,
And
my mom's like, "What happened?"
were you foaming from the mouth? and
I don't know.
everything?
So we had to go to the hospital and make
Yeah.
sure I had a tetanus and all that, or make sure I was up on my rabies or whatever.
Beagles are very cute puppies.
Yep.
Their bark is something to get used to. Bark.
Yeah.
They,
it
they've
is like
got
a-
they have a
yeah,
very
they
distinct bark.
do have a distinctive bark. Lucky needs a home. DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. Look at that face.
Yeah.
He wants to snuggle with someone.
I love
Go
it.
get him. All righty, folks. That is our show. Join us. Those of you on Facebook Live, stick around. We have one more show tonight. Those of you on whatever platform you're on, skip ahead to the next episode, or it will be there next Tuesday or Thursday.
Yay.
In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you soon. Sidebar, Matt.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my final score?
Folks can hear us, so yeah, go
want
on.
to see my final score in my fantasy game?
Sure, let's see it. That is
Semifinals.
That's precious.
And I don't know what the tiebreaker is. I don't know if it's bench points. I don't know if it's head to head.
You're gonna find out.
I'm gonna find out because we're both final. So
There it is.
Yeah, boy.
That's the way it should end. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
All right.
roll.
All right. Christmas episode.
Holidays. It's our holiday special.
All right. You ready?
Yeah. In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, it's 2 days before Christmas. So we're having a holiday special episode. Now, here's the thing, folks. This is going to be very casual. Honestly, it's going to be a conversation between Matt and I because, you know,
I didn't prepare.
Well, no, you don't have to prepare. It's off the cuff. So, but we're just having a holiday special. We're going to talk about holiday things that we like, the holiday things we don't like, some of our favorite shows or songs or whatever.
How much
just in general?
How much time do you got?
You got about a half hour.
All right.
So we'll see. Maybe 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. We're fine. So yeah, we're having our holiday special celebration of Christmas, holidays, New Year's 2024-25.
Shortest episode ever.
Oh, no, it won't be short with us. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown. Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit. Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? It is David Wright. We're here with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast. This is our holiday special. It is 2 days before Christmas, and Matt and I are hanging out and doing a podcast, and
I'm going to pass
having a drink. And Matt brought me a gift. I need to open this, Matt.
You need to open that gift.
All right. Let me.
Have you opened it yet?
No, I've not looked yet.
Holy shnight. Oh,
No.
I am so. This is my gift to you. I've had
that's very generous.
I've had a
of you.
beautiful time with you over the past couple of years on this episode, or on this show, and we've talked about this a few times.
Yes,
and
we have.
I had to do the Dark Rye Basil Hayden for you because I really enjoy doing the Motor City Hypnotist with you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
very thoughtful.
So that is
I
for
will
you.
love this. I love the Dark Rye. It's my
Mhm.
favorite
Put-
Basil Hayden.
Put that in your Manhattan and smoke it.
Yeah,
I just
do it straight.
All right, that's
Yes.
even better. So Merry
Okay,
Christmas,
so we'll,
Dave.
We'll put that in the bag later.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. So we're here in the palatial Podcast Your Voice Southfield Studios doing a podcast.
Mhm.
Free hypnosis guides available.
Yeah. It's
Text
there.
the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. It's always been there. It'll always be there. If you need the number 313-800-8510, go to my website, motorcityhypnotist.com. The number's there. Text it right to that number.
Okay.
Let me tell you, folks, where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Check that out. We do have a whole section now on ketamine-assisted hypnosis. If you're looking for regular therapy, we also offer ketamine as far as our normal therapy clients as well at Counseling and Therapy Associates. So either way, you'll get to me and we can make that happen.
Fantastic.
Social media links, Facebook and YouTube are both Motor City Hypnotist, and on Snapchat and Instagram, which are Motor City Hypno, HYPNO.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And the big thing, wherever you're listening, connect, like, link, subscribe, whatever it is on your platform. And the biggest thing is leave a review. That really helps us out. I would say I'm begging you, but please leave a review. It would help us.
You're not begging.
It would be great.
Folks tend to not leave a review.
No, I get it. And
if
I'm
they've
the
had a
same
good
way. I'm busy.
experience.
Yep. Right.
So how many
Yes.
reviews have you had?
Like overall, 30, 40.
Okay. And
Yeah, not bad.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
But when you leave a review, typically when you leave a review, they're not good.
Typically. And we do have a couple of those because, you know, when you, it's a number. It's a matter of numbers.
Uh-huh.
Like especially with the clinic business.
Fair.
We've seen thousands of clients.
Yes.
Tens of thousands of clients over the past 30 years. We do have a couple of negative reviews. That's just going to happen with any business.
That's par for the course.
It is. It's par, and those are typically the most outspoken people. So there you have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, leave a review. I would greatly appreciate it.
All right.
All righty. It is time.
Here we go.
That's how winning is done.
Okay, real
Yeah.
quick. You
you
turned
saw it.
You turned the page.
I did.
And the biggest grin came across
Yes,
your face.
I
So,
know.
what is the winner of the week today?
I'll just give you the title of the story.
Okay.
Saddest dog in town spent over 2 years at a shelter, but finally gets a home for Christmas.
I love that. Merry flippin' Christmas, puppy.
You wouldn't know it from this photo, but this Doberman was nicknamed the saddest dog in Warwickshire
Is this
after
the
spending a heart-wrenching 850 days in a shelter.
Warwickshire? Is that UK?
Warwickshire, I believe so.
All right.
This included the past 2 Christmases, and despite the shelter's best efforts, no one seemed interested in adopting him.
Okay.
According to local outlet Coventry Live, Jake the Doberman was scared of other dogs. He was also scared by other people and sounds and pretty much everything.
Isn't that just normal?
Living with dysplasia
Ooh.
and receiving treatment from the shelter staff, he was seen as just too much of a handful.
Okay.
But while Jake was facing a 3rd Christmas at the Dogs Trust in Kenilworth, a local couple, John and Amanda, looking to add 4 paws to their family, stopped outside his kennel.
Mm-hmm.
Where others saw problems, John and Amanda saw solutions. Where others saw disability, they saw potential.
Oh.
After a few weeks of involvement with his training and therapy, they decided to adopt the lonely pooch. We are so happy to have Jake in his forever home for the holidays. Jake was so loved by the staff at Dogs Trust, and it was clear how much care and dedication they gave him during his time there, Amanda said. When we collected him, there wasn't a dry eye in the house, except for Jake, who happily jumped into our car. He settled in beautifully, growing in confidence every day, and has already made new friends, including the postman and the barman with dog treats.
Uh-huh. See, it's all about the treats. Yeah.
By the time of adoption, the shelter staff had come to view Jake as their own.
Mhm.
And despite the joy of seeing him adopted, there was plenty of bittersweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Jake is a perfect example of why we don't give up on dogs who need a bit of extra help, said Emma Jane Thomas, manager at Dogs Trust Kenilworth. Jake had some challenges to overcome, but seeing him build his confidence and settle into a happy place makes it all worthwhile.
I'm imagining Jake walking away to get into the new car. He's going, I'm not going to look back. I'm not looking back.
I'm not going back.
I'm not looking back.
There's Jake.
No, because when you look back, it's one of those, I get it. But yeah, he was, he is a beautiful puppy.
Isn't he beautiful?
Yes. I'm not looking back. I'm going to miss him so much. I'm not looking back, but he is he looks incredibly happy.
Doesn't he?
Yes.
Just that face is just like, yay.
I love dog
Take me
stories.
home.
Love dog stories.
Fantastic story. Definitely winner of the week.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So, back to it.
So it's our holiday special?
So here we are, folks. It's our holiday special. Now, we've done some Christmas or holiday stuff in the past.
Mhm.
I don't remember, though, exactly what we've done. But this one...
We've done songs. We've done movies.
Christmas movies we've done.
We haven't done songs?
I don't know. Maybe not.
We'll figure it out.
Well, we're going to start there because I have so Christmas,
holidays,
holidays, whatever. There's so much media thrown at you as far as movies and songs and stories and TV shows. And it's like, sometimes it's just overwhelming, but certain things stick with you. And that's why we have favorite things.
Mhm.
So let me ask you, Matt, what is your favorite Christmas song?
Christmas song?
Yeah.
All right. So there are a few of them.
Uh-huh.
But it's more like Trans-Siberian Orchestra music.
Okay.
right? Like
Yep.
like their Deck the Halls is one
Uh-huh.
of my more favorite Christmas tunes today.
Mhm.
But you go old school and you
Yep.
get Audrey and you get, Perry Como and you get all those
Uh-huh.
guys into the mix. And that's when you really get into that spirit.
Yeah.
Because you hear the older stuff. And that was like, okay. And then the television comes on and you see the old, it's all old school for me, Dave.
Well, yeah, but it's
Yes,
nostalgia.
it's
Nostalgia is
nostalgia.
built into Christmas or the holidays.
I
Yes.
enjoyed the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I
Uh-huh.
enjoyed Die Hard. I enjoyed the Lethal Weapon movies. But you take me back to the TV shows when it was a Charlie Brown Christmas
Yep.
or the Frost, I'm sorry,
Frosty the Snowman.
or Rudolph the Red-Nosed when his dad,
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Rudolph, he's born, he's got a shiny nose, and his dad goes, yeah, that's not going to work. Let's cover that shit
Yeah.
up with mud.
Yeah.
All right.
You're a freak.
Yeah.
Get out of my sight.
But that gets me into the spirit, Dave. When I start to see the nostalgic stuff that's out there.
Oh, great Odin's raven.
To go back to Elf, yeah,
Right.
There are a lot of things about this holiday season that get me very excited.
Mhm.
It's really honestly one of my favorite times of the year.
Yep.
My most favorite time of the year is Thanksgiving.
Okay. There you go.
This is on par with
Right.
that because it's all about family. It's all about giving.
Yep.
It's not about getting. It's about what you
It's just about
give.
what's important in your life and
Yes.
being thankful for that and
Yes.
appreciating it. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
I love giving this time of year. I really, really do. But you can't put yourself into a situation where you're having to repay it over the next 10 years.
Well, yeah, that too. Right. So I think if it's tough to pick a favorite, but I believe my go-to Christmas song is "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas,"
Bye.
but it has to be by Bing Crosby.
See,
That specific one.
That's
It's been redone thousands of times.
Sure.
That is the one that sticks with me.
Have yourself.
And I'll tell you why in a few moments when we
Okay.
talk about some other areas of Christmas cheer
Okay.
or
All right.
Christmas things.
No, brilliant song.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mhm.
And
Again, it's old school. It's got that. I just love that. I love the whole era of all the crooners like Sinatra and Bing Crosby
And Perry
Dean
Como,
Martin
and
and
Dean
Perry
Martin, yeah.
Como. Just such great voices.
Gene Autry.
Uh-huh.
Gene, little Gene in my world, baby.
So that's good. Yeah. So that would be my favorite Christmas song. What is your again? We're going to movies, Christmas movies.
See that.
What would be your top three? Because I know it's hard to pin down to one.
It's very tough.
I know,
because
it
there's,
is.
there's a lot out there. You got your Miracle on 34th Street. Is it
You have your
30?
standbys.
Yeah, you
You're
have your
right.
standbys. Okay. If I have to go today's, it would be National Lampoons.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
if I want to laugh,
Right.
that's where I go. Because Clark Griswold
Yep.
is an icon.
Yep.
And the stuff that he goes through to make his home, his household cheery and bright, the man kills himself to
Yeah,
do it,
just to get that done.
just to get it done. So I kind of see myself as a Griswold. in that
Okay,
regard.
Clark.
No, I don't. No, but my partner Holly, her and I have that same mentality. We're gonna love our kids to death until they're sick of it, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So that would be number one. Number two, I have to go. And don't hate me on this.
We'll see.
Christmas Story.
No,
With
I'm good with that.
With little Ralphie.
No, I don't hate that at all. That's a nostalgic, like just feel good Christmas movie.
And I've watched it hundreds of times.
Absolutely.
And I can memorize it from back to forward to back. Honestly, it's one of those movies on Christmas Day. It's on. You watch a scene like I've seen this 100 times. I'm gonna watch this scene again.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So number three, and people are gonna hate.
I don't know. Die Hard. No,
It's not a Christmas movie.
Well, even though Bruce Willis said it was not a Christmas movie.
Is all those? I'm sorry. Any action flick in the Christmas time.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal
is another
Weapons.
one.
All of those.
Yep.
Though that's where I'm at mentally.
Yeah.
Is there anything that is Christmas related?
I'm with you on that. So I would go, honestly, it's probably very similar. Christmas Story is definitely up there in my top three. And Christmas Vacation.
Elf is there.
I was Elf is right on the edge there. I do love that movie.
I love the animation of the Grinch, but Jim Carrey did such a great job with that character to the point where he said, I'd do it again.
Yeah.
I need the money.
Right.
He said that. He's like, I'd do it again.
And I'm not talking about animated films, although that would be a different, we'll do that one in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, I would probably say I'm in the top thing as far as Christmas Story. And what was the other one I said? I'm drawing a blank now. What were my two? What were my two I said?
It
must not be that good because I can't.
You said
remember it.
Lethal Weapon and all those.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon's good. Die Hard is good.
You said Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
That was the one I was missing. Yeah.
Very good.
So how about now? This is going to be a little bit harder to nail down.
All right, I'll figure it out.
TV shows centering on Christmas. So it could be a series, it could be a standalone, it could be a.
I'm a loyal subscriber to the Hallmark Channel, Dave.
Okay, yeah.
I'm actually not, because of that. That's if you want Christmas stories that are feel good.
Well, see, those are technically movies, though.
Are they? Oh, so TV shows?
Yeah, so it'd be like series, TV shows.
Gosh, the Three's Company Christmas episode. I'm kidding.
That's when Jack pulls out a shower curtain and Mr. Roper thinks he's talking about something else.
That's funny.
No, you have to unfold it first.
So TV shows would go back to the Charlie Brown era.
Okay.
Because you have your Friends episodes, their Christmas episodes,
yeah,
and the Thanksgiving episodes, and what have you.
Yeah.
So if you're talking TV shows, there's not a specific one because they do it every season.
Sure.
Supernatural had their own Christmas episode.
Oh, yeah.
For
See, I
goodness
didn't.
sakes, right?
I never got. I think I got through one season of Supernatural.
Well, there's only
16,000
more.
I know it's tough to catch up on.
No, but if you're talking TV shows, that's where I go back to the Charlie Brown Christmas, to the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, to Frosty the Snowman, and what have you.
I will say, just in general, I'll throw out a few that I really like. The Office had a couple great Christmas. One specific Christmas episode is fantastic. One of my favorite Christmas episodes from a TV show was X-Files.
Okay.
No,
I don't.
You are not an X-Files fan?
I am, but help educate me here.
Mulder and Scully go out on Christmas Eve to investigate this haunted mansion.
Okay.
And they run into Ed Asner and Lily Tomlin.
Really?
Ghosts in the mansion.
They were Christmas past and present?
I don't know. There were just a couple who died there. And the ghost plan was to trap Mulder and Scully in the house.
to become the
new
them,
just to become
the new them.
So the whole goal of these ghosts was for them to kill each other. So the whole episode is them hallucinating each other, and I don't want to spoil it. You'll remember it because if you watched it, you've probably seen this episode. They end up shooting each other near the end of the episode, and they have to crawl out of the house. And as soon as they're outside, they're fine.
What the? I don't remember this episode.
It was so good because what it centered on here, and here's why it's so good. It was a Christmas episode, but the whole underlying theme was that Mulder and Scully are alone on Christmas Eve. And then they come together.
Yes.
And then the ghosts know everything about them. They're like, why don't you tell the truth? Why don't you tell each other how you feel?
They still haven't, for God's sake.
Yes. And the whole end was them coming to terms of, we have a connection here. So that for me, that I really dig that episode. It was all Christmas themed.
I'll have to look that up.
And I go back to my favorite song, Bing Crosby's "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." Because it was in that episode.
All right.
Yeah. Great episode. Check it out.
Even Far and Away is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So as far as Christmas goes, do you have family traditions?
Well, when we were all under the same roof,
right?
I love the tradition of waking up early, 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock. And I didn't mind when the kiddos were toddlers being woken up early. It's Christmas.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So excited to open up gifts and what have you. As time went on, as they became teenagers, I still wanted that 8 o'clock in the morning opening up gifts.
Sure.
However, they had different plans.
Yeah, of course they did.
So I changed my tradition, where my tradition on Christmas morning and Thanksgiving morning is I make myself and my partner a pot of coffee, and I have a Irish hazelnut coffee and just enjoy the quietness in the morning.
So you only do Irish hazelnut on Christmas or on New Year's or
Thanksgiving,
on a holiday?
on Thanksgiving and
Okay.
on Christmas. So it's the only time I'll
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you do it any other time of the year?
Because that takes away from.
So you're saving it. You're saving it for a special occasion.
I savor the opportunity to sit back with an Irish hazelnut coffee. Like so we did Christmas, with my kiddos and Holly's kiddos just yesterday.
Yep.
And yesterday that was Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes, we still have Christmas to do.
Sure.
But my kiddos were coming over and I wanted to keep that tradition alive. So did I get to have an Irish hazelnut coffee twice? Absolutely.
Hell yes.
Yeah. So I made Irish hazelnut coffee that morning and I drank on that for a little bit. And then we got into the day. It was a brilliant day. Were we dead tired by the end of it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Absolutely.
Sure.
Just to see them and spend time with them. I enjoy having them over and their presence and being there. Did they get things that they maybe wanted? I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
It really is. But
Right.
they were there and they were, and
Sure, they're present.
They're present. All three of them, they're thriving. They're doing wonderful. And that's why when you bring family together, you want to see them succeeding.
Of course. Yes.
And you want to understand what you can do to help them succeed going forward.
Right.
That's what the holiday spirit does for folks.
Yep.
And for me.
Yeah. We used to have different traditions. When I was a kid, my grandparents would host Christmas for the entire extended family, and they would have Santa come in. They would, have a Santa come in. And that was like
the Santa, right?
The
Because
Santa.
he's real.
Yeah, of course. At that time, he was real.
No, he is.
And then since it's just been our family, honestly, what we've done, and this was prior to COVID, but typically on Christmas Day, we would do our gifts, hang out, have breakfast, and we go to the movies.
Yeah. I did that for the first time a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And it was, I'd never really gone to see movies on Christmas
Right.
Day.
And that's kind of a thing that we've kind of fallen into. Again, since COVID, that's kind of cut back. Plus, I hate to say it, but there's not really anything good at the movies anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the problem.
You
too.
might have to go see something for the second or third time.
Right. Or just stay at home now.
Right.
Just stream
it.
it. Right. Exactly.
No, as far as traditions, one of the things that I really enjoyed about my sister and her, having a daughter, and her and her husband, my brother-in-law Jason, they did so many fun things with my niece, with Maggie, where they got to the point where they were actually sprinkling flour on the floor.
Oh, for snow prints,
for Santa prints, walking towards the tree
Yeah.
and walking away to the tree and walking away from the tree, and to the chimney.
Of course.
For a child of 3-4 years old to see that on a Christmas morning, they're like, "Oh my God, this is fantastic! He was here!"
Yeah.
Those are the traditions that you build into your kids.
Mhm.
Yes, they'll figure it out. Yes,
Of
he
course.
is.
But it's the thought of it.
Yes.
It's the
It's fun.
Yes.
And you want your children to be excited for Christmas, because
Right.
it's a beautiful time of year.
Yep.
It really is. But again, it's not about the receive, it's about the giving. And they're giving their child an experience.
Yep.
And it's going to grow from there, and then their belief system is going to grow from there as well.
Well, and
It's
then,
just, there's so much into it.
and then the children just carry that on. That's the whole
Yes,
point.
yes.
It's a legacy.
Yes. And now my sister and brother-in-law have adopted a young man, and they are continuing those traditions, because
fantastic.
And it's so good to see the brightness in their eyes when they wake up on Christmas morning to see, oh my God, he was here. And it's still real. It's real for them.
Yeah.
And you want to make it real.
Absolutely.
They'll figure it out
Eventually.
but that's the experience that you want to give your kids. You want them to
Absolutely
feel good this time of year, to help them understand it's not about you opening something, it's about somebody giving you something.
Yes.
And it's about giving back.
Absolutely.
And that's what you have to instill slowly into your child.
You would hope. Yes.
Yes.
So
Go on.
do you guys do, as far as like the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, do you do stockings over the fireplace?
Yeah, we have stockings.
You have
hanging-
stockings.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Because a lot of people don't do stockings.
Yeah, we have stockings hanging
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
Thank God it was a thank God it was a sock and not a jock strap. Thank you, Jeff
You
Dunham,
could
for
stuff it
that.
with something.
Thank you for Jeff
Yeah.
Dunham. Nuts, you
right.
mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so Jeff Dunham did a little bit with Peanut about
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
God it's not a jock strap.
Right.
What's in it? Nuts.
Nuts. D's nuts.
But no, we have stockings over
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the
We
chimney.
do stockings. I never did stockings as a kid though.
Really?
No. Mm-mm.
So it was just gifts under
Just
the
gifts under the tree. Just
Okay.
never did the stocking thing.
All right.
And here's the other odd thing. As a kid, we always had tinsel on the tree.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what tinsel
Oh,
is?
I do.
It's those strings of silver
Uh-huh.
foil.
Uh-huh.
And
if you have animals,
oh no,
bad idea.
No. I've never done tinsel again since I've been a kid. It's just too much. It's just
Why?
too,
Because it makes it look like a clown threw up on the
Nah,
tree.
It's just such a hassle to pull out little strands one at a time, and it takes for I don't know. I'm just being a Grinch.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
My mother did tinsel one year, and that's where the term comes. A clown throwing up on a tree comes from.
Right.
Because my mother did that, and I love her to death, and she's always maintained that tradition of tinsel.
Uh-huh.
And my brother-in-law and I, we got to the house, we see the tree, we're like, wow, that's a lot.
Just like fling it up there.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And Jason, God love this man. He's like, it looks like a clown threw up on the tree. It really does. It was the funniest damn thing ever, and I will never forget him saying that.
That's awesome.
It was the funniest thing.
That's fantastic.
So let me ask you,
Yeah.
do you and I'm going to bring something into this, but do you do the service? Do you go to church? Christmas?
We don't.
No.
Mm-mm.
Is that just
it's just something that
is that a practice you don't have? In the
yeah,
household?
it's not really a practice. We don't typically attend church regularly.
Okay.
Just not. I don't know. Just not in our wheelhouse.
Yeah. So
I'm not like against it.
Sure,
Or I'm not like
yeah.
it's just so I'll give you a quick backstory because when I was a teenager, I went to church as a kid all the time.
Sure.
Although my mother didn't go.
Okay.
She would send us with the neighbors that lived 2 doors down, and
Okay.
they were huge involved in the church.
Do you mind me asking what denomination?
Yeah, Baptist.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I grew up going to Calvary Baptist Church in Southgate.
Mm-hmm.
Was right on Eureka Road. It's been sold. It's I don't know what it is now, but it's not a church anymore. So we grew up going with the neighbors, and I was good friends with the neighbor kid. He was like 3 years younger than me or 2 years younger than me, but we used to play in the neighborhood all the time.
Okay.
But we would go to church with them all the time.
Okay.
So again, I don't want to draw this out and make it a long thing.
No,
but
no, you're fine.
When I was 15, I started going back to that church. Just something that in my head at the time, I was like, maybe I don't feel like I want to go back to church. But I got involved in a youth group at that time when I was 15.
Same.
The youth director, his name was Chuck Seavey. Shout out to Chuck. I have no idea. I know you're in Florida living there. I know you're still alive, I think.
Go on.
But if you're listening, that'd be awesome. So he became a great and again, I
mentor almost?
A mentor, because at that point my parents divorced when I was 8.
Mhm.
I still had a good relationship with my father, but not until later in my teen years.
Okay.
So Chuck was kind of my stand-in father figure.
Mhm.
And so I stayed involved in church for 16, 17 until I graduated.
Okay.
Went to Cornerstone University, which is a Christian college.
Mhm.
So I was involved, throughout then and even after that for probably 6, 7, 8 years, something
Okay.
like that. And then I don't know. I think in general for me, it was just, this is a strong word, but a lot of hypocrisy.
There is.
And I just kind of got a bad taste and I just kind of drifted away. It's not. So here's the thing. I feel like I have faith, but I don't have religion.
Okay. And that's fair. Absolutely fair. There is faith without religion.
Right.
And it for me, and I'll be totally honest with you, it comes down to who is preaching to me, who is giving the message for the day. If I really don't, understand where they're coming from, if I don't I say not like the person, but
right.
You get a feeling.
But there should be a quality
there-
person.
They should be.
Should be.
But it's the message that you're receiving and how they're portraying it, how they're giving you that message, and that's what folks really need to dial into, and that's what I looked for, is someone giving me a message that I can personally become involved in. Right.
Yep.
Now, okay, so I understand where they're coming from.
Yep.
I might have questions, and it could be, and lead to a great conversation.
Yeah.
But it comes down, and it could be Catholicism, it could be Baptist, it could be Methodist, it could be Buddhism. There is still someone there. You have faith,
right?
And I do go to church. It's not an every single week type deal. I was raised Catholic,
sure.
Dave, so you have to understand.
Well, I went through the whole Catholic thing because Kendra was raised Catholic, and when we got married, I had to go to church for.
So
a year
you kneeled
beforehand.
and stood and kneeled and stood and kneeled
stood and kneeled and took the sacrament and whatever. Yeah,
that is still a part of my belief. Is
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah, you take your time.
I don't know if I've told you the story before.
Okay,
about us getting married in a Catholic church and what I had to do.
I think you did.
Kendra says, "Okay, my mom wants us to get married Catholic." I'm like, "I don't care. Whatever you need. Whatever she needs, I'm good." She goes, "Well, you have to go to church." I'm like, "Really?" So we ended up going to church for, she said, "You have to go to church." And I agreed. It's like 6 or 8 months before our wedding. So we go to church and she goes, "Oh yeah, this new priest, he's a young guy. He's really cool. You'll like him." Priest comes out. I went to grad school with him. We both went to Wayne State together. I knew him.
Yeah. You did tell me.
We used to hang out after class all the time over at Alvin's bar. Having just a grand old time.
So the program for a Catholic service, it does change over time.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell who has not been to mass.
Oh, absolutely.
In a year, because things have changed, and they're like, "Peace be with you." And everyone says, and also, "Oh, I'm not supposed to say that."
You don't say "also with you" not anymore.
It is.
No,
it is, and with your spirit.
Oh, I would have failed. I would have said, "and also with you." That's what I learned.
So things change. You could definitely tell, and it's fun to see. But you have to what? I'm glad they're here. Because folks will go, Christmas and then Easter. The important dates.
Yeah,
right?
the religious holidays.
The religious holidays.
Yeah.
But as far as faith goes, as long as you believe in somebody or something, it's only going to help you over time.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, and I've dealt with clients a lot, and let's bring this back home as far as just being. I'm trying to think of a good word for it. Just being encouraged,
cognizant,
because a lot of people are very anti-religion.
Oh yeah,
which I get. I understand it.
Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs.
Sure, absolutely,
or lack thereof.
And a lot of times people don't know what will make them happy or what will make them feel more fulfilled. And sometimes it's religion, sometimes it's faith, and those are two separate things.
Sure,
absolutely. But a lot of times people are searching, and that's when they find faith. That's when they turn to God or whoever your higher power is.
Right.
Yeah.
I've read the Bible.
Yeah.
I've read it. I've read it cover to cover. Did I enjoy it? No, it was a tough read. It's a tough read, but I stuck with it.
Right.
And I understand. Do I memorize Bible verses? Absolutely not. Do I know where to go to find certain things? Yeah, I have a good understanding, but I still want a good message. And
the whole thing is, and not to get off on a religious tangent, but,
I'm sorry,
but there's so many different religions and so many different approaches, but as long as each of them have the underlying theme of love everyone and be kind.
Yeah.
And I think that's missing in many religions.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
When did you start saying Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas before 3 days ago?
Both.
When did you start saying it to folks? When you're out shopping?
Oh, like in general?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know. After Thanksgiving.
Okay. Why?
Because Thanksgiving's a holiday.
Correct.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Do you say happy holidays or Merry Christmas?
I do both. It just depends on the time.
Depends on the situation and who you're talking to.
I honestly, I don't even think about it.
Because if you see somebody who's decked out in a sweater,
yeah,
in a Christmas sweater,
right.
and it's December 5th, you say Merry Christmas to that individual.
Probably, yeah.
If they're just in, drab, whatever, you say Happy Holidays.
I might say Merry Christmas.
You might?
Yeah.
If they say it to you first?
No.
All right.
I might lead with that.
Good.
No, I told my staff today, hey, have a Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys on Thursday or whatever. I mean,
it's just that's the, and I hate to use the word stigma. But it's, if you say Merry Christmas to somebody and they don't practice the faith.
Yeah, but the whole thing is it is Christmas. That's what it's called. That's the whole point.
It's the Christmas season, but they don't practice it. So if you say Merry Christmas to somebody.
So when you say they don't practice,
I don't care about the time. Don't worry about the time.
No. Are you saying they don't decorate for Christmas or give gifts on Christmas Day?
They don't practice and they don't celebrate.
So they don't do anything for Christmas?
You don't know, but how do you know when to say Merry Christmas?
I don't think it matters. I think you say what you want to say.
You say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I say Merry Christmas.
I say both. I don't have a preference on either one. It's just whatever comes out at the time.
I've actually moved away from saying Happy Holidays. I've moved to enjoy your holiday.
Okay.
Because you just don't know what they practice and how they celebrate.
But see, here's the whole thing. I'm giving a gesture of I've been drawing a blank on the word. I'm giving you a gesture of good faith or of kindness,
of goodwill,
of connection.
Yes.
I don't care if I say fucking Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas. Yeah. I'm giving you I'm wishing you well.
But the world
don't take it well.
But
don't take it different.
The world today.
But see that's a problem. As soon as you said the world today, it's fucked up.
It is.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
It is.
You stick to your lane. You stay
or
in
both
your lane.
or whatever. You're wishing somebody good wishes. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter if you say Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or Happy Kwanzaa. It's all the same. It's all the same feeling.
Yes.
It's all the same thing that you're projecting is be safe. I love you.
You're out shopping.
Yeah.
And somebody's on their 10th, 11th hour in retail. And you go up and they're smiling, they're happy to help you. You say thank you and Merry Christmas. Because 95% of the other people that they dealt with that day probably didn't say a word.
Oh, no, absolutely. If it's wait staff or clerks or receptionists or cashiers.
I'm sorry, it drives me nuts.
I always am, and again, I don't know if I say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, but it's one of them.
It doesn't matter. At that point, it doesn't matter because they hadn't heard it from anybody else.
And I don't know why people wouldn't do that.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah,
it really does.
I get it. All right.
So to get off a tangent.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
Happy holidays, Matt. We got them both covered.
I love it.
We're all good.
I appreciate this commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was fun. It was fun just to kind of casually go off the cuff and talk about
Did
things.
you get through all of the topics?
I did get through them all. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep, I am sure.
All right. Your favorite Christmas decoration?
Decoration?
Is it Christmas lights?
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker?
Do you know what we have?
What do you have?
We have a 6-foot nutcracker in our lobby.
Does it work?
Yeah. It lights up. It plays music.
I mean, does it crack nuts?
No, it doesn't crack nuts.
See?
Unless you run into it with your crotch. Really fast.
What was that doctor's name in the last episode?
No, don't shut me up.
I appreciate what you bring out of me in this podcast.
No, it's great. It's awesome. All righty, folks. Before we take off.
Oh, do we have another one?
We do. I got to find it. Give me a second. It got shuffled in.
It did.
Yes.
It's all good. All right. So for those, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We are always here. There he is. Monday evenings
from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, give or take 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And and we will be off next Monday for the Facebook Live people, and we'll be back after the New Year.
So Happy New Year.
Yeah. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, Matt. Okay, before we leave,
Merry New Year.
Oreo needs a home.
Oreo? Tell me.
He's a hound mix.
Wait. Are they black and white?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Born September 24.
Okay.
Just a puppy.
Just 2 months old.
Yeah, a couple months old. Male. She'll end up being about 60 pounds.
You said male, and then you said she.
Oh, I'm sorry. Male. Size will be 60 pounds.
Okay.
Dog friendly, yes. Cat friendly, unknown. Kid friendly, yes.
This puppy can be cat friendly if you introduce that at a younger age. Yes.
Activity level medium high.
Mm-hmm.
Oreo needs a home.
Oh my God, dude!
I know. Isn't that just?
It's a terrier mix, yeah. Hound mix, terrier.
Hound mix.
There's terrier in that puppy somewhere.
There might be.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
I know. Is that dog beautiful?
That is straight on Dalmatian. There's got to be Dalmatian in there too with the spots.
Yeah, but he's so little.
That's okay. Dalmatians aren't big dogs,
right?
That's got a very Dalmatian. Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful looking little puppy.
Isn't he a great looking puppy?
Oreo.
DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. Oreo needs a home. You could get him tomorrow and bring him home on Christmas morning.
For his entire life.
And he will love you.
And you get Oreo for his entire life. Yep. You don't take him back.
Just
because they're a gift.
No.
That doesn't mean you can give him back in 4 months.
Oreo needs a home. DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt.
Thank you.
Yes. All righty, folks. That is our show for today. Have a great holidays. We'll be back after the new year. We're off next Monday for those of you who join us on Facebook Live, but we'll be back in 2 weeks at our normal time, Mondays, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yay!
In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. Have a great Christmas holiday. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa.
All of it.
We'll see ya.